Hi there. I want to talk about the probability that already you're doing professional development. You mentioned in your paperwork, and from what I remember of teaching in Korea, that you have to contact with students' parents, and also you have contact with your boss. What I'd like to talk about is how what you're doing in terms of your academy's paperwork is in fact a form of professional development. Okay, it doesn't in the end lead to a certificate, but it can in fact be something interesting to do and something that can be both beneficial for you and for your students. And I suspect that you're already doing it. Is that when you contact the students' parents and you talk with the students' parents about what your students are doing, is that you are reflecting upon what is happening in the classroom and you're reflecting upon their ability. The technical term for this is reflective practice. But really a more another way of thinking about it is just thinking about what you're doing. And I suspect that probably for your academy owner that you write down what you did during the daytime. So I want to take these skills that you already have and perhaps look at them a different way of thinking about them and also how they're a benefit to you. You have to do these tasks anyway, they're part of your job, and just maybe to think about them in a different way. So my first point is about contacting parents, and I don't want to tell you what to do, but I want you to think about what it is you're doing when you talk with students' parents. And of course you can think of it's a negative task, it's hard work, and you can't really tell the truth to students' parents because you lose business or what have you. But what I'm suggesting is maybe you could think about ways in which you could talk to parents, and probably you're doing this anyways, that is beneficial for students' learning. Maybe even suggesting to parents, for example, that they could encourage their students more, their children more in the subject that they're learning, or even invite them to come and see you and you know, or that kind of thing. I'm sure you're very good at this job already, communicating with parents, and I'm sure your company, you know, appreciates the work that you do, or maybe not, as you seem to think. But another possible way is for you to receive feedback. It's another way of reflecting upon your teaching, is to receive feedback and being open to receive feedback from your students' parents. I know from my experience it's not very easy to get students to honestly say what they think about teacher in the class, but I'm sure that they go home and tell their parents to it, and even changing the way that you feel when you have some negative response from a child's parent, is that, you know, being open and discussing with them, well, okay, we have this negative point, tell it to me, I can listen to this negative point, alright, I'll write it down and think about it and think how I can change. This is a good way of getting feedback. And perhaps improving what you're doing and being open to that's important, is being open to that and not taking it too personally. I always take it too personally when students' parents, you know, they're like, oh, teacher doesn't do this, teacher does this. But if you just take it and say, well, that's part of you know, me becoming a better teacher, is that I have to take the good things with the bad things. And then moving on to that is to talk about the forms that we fill in for the boss, what we write about. And we have to do this anyway and tell them what we did and what have you. Is that similar to that, is that maybe have your own form as well, and that you write down in that form, you know, issues that you're having, and even like writing down separately things that you want to tell the boss but feel uncomfortable about writing about, is that you kind of like write that to yourself. And you're writing to yourself about, you know, I had this was difficult today and this was difficult. And then I want to suggest that maybe each week, or maybe each class, or maybe each day, is that you identify as something that keeps arising when you're writing down, maybe a problem that keeps coming up, and you can talk to me about it, and then we can discuss it, and then perhaps select some possible solutions. But if you're not happy with talking to me, then you could select the solutions yourself. So the idea is that you write down something that's happening in your class. You can write down good things too. I want to hear about good things that happened, and then maybe you know some good things, and then just one or two things that are like, oh, you're struggling with and finding difficult. Although I think maybe the good things are better to talk about than the bad things. And then once we've got that thing, we can discuss it, and we can select different possible solutions, and then try them out and decide how they're going. Alright, that's for now. Thank you very much.